There were many reasons why the US wanted to bomb Hiroshima. One of the reasons why they did it was because of Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor. On December the 7th, 1941, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor by using a bomb. The bomb didn't have the effect that they had hoped. They thought their attack would take out so many ships that the US wouldn't be able to attack back and be permanently out of number. Another reason why the US used Little Boy was because Japan just weren't surrendering. There were many fights in which the US won, yet Japan just wouldn't give up. They wanted to find a way in which Japan would have to surrender with no choice. Also, the US wouldn't be able to fight forever. Many people lost their lives during the war, as well as many ships and weapons had been damaged. The last main idea why US bombed Hiroshima was that they wanted to try out the atomic bomb. They had tested it out before in Mexico and it was a success, but they didn't know the full impact. They didn't understand what it was going to do to the people of Hiroshima, but they wanted to find out.
We could use that, but we don't even know the proper effect. Oh well, let's find out.
The US had 3 cities to choose from. Nagasaki because it was an important seaport and an industrial city. Kyoto was also an option because it had many factories that made weapons and ammunition. Hiroshima was the third option and was finally chosen as a strategic city because it was a military city and had weapons and industrial importance to the Japanese. So by bombing Hiroshima, Japan would have fewer factories to make weapons and ammunition to use against the Americans. Who are we going to bomb? Hiroshima, Nagasaki or Kyoto?
The weather's nice in Hiroshima.
Okay, let's go with you. On August 6, 1945, Paul Tibbets, the pilot of Enola Gay, dropped their new atomic bomb, Little Boy, on Hiroshima. On the day of the bombing, the US chose to bomb Hiroshima because the weather was good. To bomb Hiroshima because the weather was good. They only picked half an hour before they dropped the bomb because each city was very different. On August 9, 1945, the US also bombed Nagasaki. Major General Charles W. Sweeney, the pilot of Boxcar, dropped the bomb, Fat Man, on the Japanese city at 11:02 a.m. About 75,000 people were killed instantly, with thousands more dying in the following weeks due to exposure to radiation and other illnesses. Many of Hiroshima's survivors fled to Nagasaki to seek a better future, only to be bombed again. This bombing resulted in Japan's unconditional surrender. There are many consequences on both people and places. Some consequences include around 80,000 people instantly died when the bomb was dropped. They died from direct exposure to radiation and burnt to ashes. This was almost a quarter of Hiroshima's population at the time. Around 70,000 were injured. They got badly burnt, lost their hair and even their senses. So all these people had long, painful recoveries and rehabilitation time ahead of them. Also, around 4,000 children were orphaned due to their families' deaths. After the bombing, radiation poisoning was beginning to show. Radiation poisoning is caused by direct exposure to radiation and can cause sicknesses such as cancer, birth defects, burns, physical defect, and psychological damage. Unfortunately, some survivors had a situation of deja vu. They fled from Hiroshima to Nagasaki seeking safety and a better life, but unfortunately they got bombed again. Both Nagasaki and Hiroshima were destroyed with less than 30% of their buildings still standing. And finally, the Hiroshima bombing was one of the final stages of World War II, with the Axis powers finally surrendering.